Love it. It's like
Sig
that.
226.
Already made holster.
Yep. Contrary to what you may have read on the internet somewhere, forum, blog, and I know this may be shocking because we all know the internet is always right, full of truth. I do not like every Sig Sauer firearm. I don't. There's several models I dislike greatly. I've said as much in my review videos. Might be a tactical carbine, a rifle, yes, even a handgun that Sig does that just doesn't do it for me. I say that because sometimes people come to the TNP videos and they think I'm all about Sig Sauer, all about Glock. Everything these companies do, I just love it, I'll rave about it, and it's just not true. Never has been, ever since 2008. If they do some missteps, I'll say so on the camera. And I just don't sign off on everything they come out with and go, oh, this is awesome. I don't. For instance, here in the Nutnfancy project, I doubt you will ever see a review on the P290. What? I love that gun, Nuttin. Well, more power to you, bro. I don't. It's too heavy, too thick, too bulky. So many other guns do what it's trying to do better. Or the P224. Yeah, I said it. I don't like those guns. I'm not going to waste time, money, energy reviewing them. Subject to change. But that's why I'm feeling now. I say that because I'm setting the stage for a gun I'm getting ready to rave about. Yes, it's a Sig. I'm coming clean with you guys. It's a Sig. I love this model. Here comes your 20-second review. It's reliable, accurate, worth the money, buy it. Wait, that was like a 5-second review. There you go. Watch the rest of the video and you'll see exactly why I arrived at that conclusion. This is, of course, a Sig P227 review. You're watching the Nutnfancy project well into year 5. Let's check it out. As soon as I heard this gun was coming out, I was interested. Why is that? Because I love Sigs, usually, not always, usually full-size, what I call go-to-war pistols, like this one. I've spent a lot of airtime reviewing them, like the P226, for instance. Several videos out on this gun. So when the P227 was announced, I was interested. Here we go, opening it. Excellent. I tracked its progress. I'm talking the P227. I said, I got to get a hold of that gun. I want to shoot it. I'm stoked about it. This gun does it for me. Why is it? Because I love the 226. That's why. But we have not had this gun in 45 ACP. And yes, for the record, I love 45 ACP. But Nutnfancy, I thought you were a 9mm fan. Here we go with more disinformation on the internet. I love the 9mm. It's size efficient. Yes, it's cost effective. Yes, it will get the job done. Yes, that's why the seals stick with it. It's a great cartridge. Is it the most powerful handgun cartridge out there? Absolutely not. Has it failed to make stops? Absolutely it has. A 45 ACP, if you can integrate it into your systems, here I go, jumping ahead to POU. It's a better cartridge. If you get it to where it needs to be and employ it in a manner it needs to be employed, it's a fight stopper. Same with the 10mm. Great cartridge. You know, I'm stoked on it. And in a lot of ways, you know, I was thinking over the years here in the Nutnfancy project, I need to review a P220. But again, going back to what I said at the intro, I had a hard time getting stoked on it. Now, I will get stoked occasionally on a 1911. Granted, those are 8+1 in most formats. And the P220 is right there. I'm talking magazine capacity. But there was just something holding me back on the P220. I was just like, you know, there have been reports of reliability issues for, you know, high volume users. I'm not going to go over those because I haven't substantiated those claims myself. But they're out there, and then I was just like, I just don't know. P220 announced, or 227 is announced. Bam, interested. Here's the gun, shooting complete. Here comes your review. The question is this gun right for you? Well, at the outset I said I do not like every Sig firearm. That is a true statement. I could list probably 10 models, not just the two I mentioned, but others that I don't know, just doesn't do it for me. This one does. And a lot of reason why I love the 227 and was interested immediately in this gun, once again, goes back to my decades of experience with the 226. You talk about a Hall of Famer pistol, go look up the videos that I've done reviewing the 226, and you'll see why I love it, because I rave about it on, and all the categories we're going to talk about. I'm going to go kind of light, if I can, on the 227, because it's very similar to that gun. But that's why I love it. I have a trust in this pistol. It is a GTW trust. We're getting into POU, brief discussion. That stands for go to war pistol. That when I pull the freaking trigger, it's going to go boom, and it's going to cycle another shot, and it's a gun I can put, you know, my life entrusted in. I'm down with that. I think you guys are too. That's why you're watching this video. The question is it too big of a gun for you? I would not recommend this, talking about philosophy of use, as a carry pistol. What about the 224, Nutnfancy? No, not that one either. It's too fat. You know, it's just not. I call these service pistols, something that, you know, we would just strap in an external holster, run with. This is a great GTW pistol, the 227. Now, you're going with a larger caliber, that's heavier ammunition, you're going to be able to carry less, it's more expensive to train with a lot. If you're reloading, more power to you, brother. I'm happy for you. I don't have time. 45 ACP is freaking expensive. That's just the way it is. I looked online tonight, and a 25 round of Golden Saber 185 plus P by Remington, $40. Granted, that's not training ammo, but it's defensive ammo. If you can get past that, and you really love and can appreciate, I don't know, these are just some of the rounds I shot through this pistol, save for the donation casings. You'll love it. You'll love it. Can you take the weight and the size of this pistol in your system? That's a question only you can answer. I don't recommend it for daily carry. There's guys that will do it, I know. They'll do it religiously. Again, I'm impressed with them, but generally I'll run into these guys. They're not carrying their pistol down the road. It's just too big, too cumbersome. GTW pistol, absolutely. That stands for WROL as well. Anytime someone or things get really bad, you need a handgun. It's not our primary, you know, way of defending ourselves. It should be a, I don't know, shotgun or a tactical carbine. There's a great second option. Also, home defense has a tactical rail, just like the 226. Sorry, this gun right here. You can identify the bad guys he's coming into your domicile. Very, very important. I don't like separate flashlights. I've said that forever. Keep it simple. KISS principle. Integrate the light there. You know, you're not going through a room clearing exercise, you're defending your home. It's pretty simple exercise. Bedside pistol, you bet. Vehicle gun, absolutely. It is a big gun. It's kind of a heavy gun, 32 ounces empty, the P227. That's right in line with the P226, right? Right in line. I mean, exactly in line. I said during the Gunny store review, that's a gun store, you can look up that video, that this gun would be a great upgrade to the Navy SEALs. I will stick by that. I really think it would be. I'd much rather have this than a Mark 23. Absolutely. And if you want to, you know, do the internal coatings on it so it's more rust resistant on the inner workings, I say rock on. But you talk about a wicked fight stopper. The downside again is ammunition. You're going to have less rounds and they're going to be heavier to carry. And I think the seals have always opted, hey, we know the 9mm is not the fight stopper we wish it would, but it's SAWC efficient. Finally, I'll say with philosophy of use, recreational gun. This gun is so fun to shoot. A big thank you to my buddy Crockett20 who helped me test this P227. He too fell in love with the gun. He loved it. He's like, how much are these again? He's like, Nutton, where's your 227? He wanted to walk home with this one. This is a gun you will fall in love with when you shoot it. It is one of the smoothest, softest shooting 45 ACPs that I've shot in a long time. There's a lot out there, I know. The Glock 21s are amazing. The XD, XDMs are great shooting guns. But I really, really love the shooting characteristics of this gun, the P227. And that takes its size, weight, balance, and feel. Well, balance and feel is all P226, dude. And by that, I mean it's pretty much perfection. Feels great in my hand. I mean, I'll tell you, it's just excellent. I like the 227 format. I'm sorry, the 226 and for that matter, the 227 format. Now, you guys who have 226s may be wondering this. How different, if at all, is it from a 226? Well, by way of introduction, this is the P227 Nitron. It has a 4.4-inch barrel. Again, the weight on it on this is 32 ounces. I did a recent video on the 226 series. I tried to cover all the versions. I showed a Mark 25. I showed this one. This is a 226 Nitron rail. This one is actually the Mark 25 is 1 ounce heavier at 33 ounces empty. This is not the Mark 25, by the way. That pistol went bye-bye. But I would say, to answer your question, how different is it from a 226? Hardly any difference. Hardly any. I mean, I took out the micrometer and I measured it. And the grip width on the 226, this gun right here, is 1.335 inches. And it's 1.38 inches on the 227. 227, 226. Visually, can you tell any difference? I can't either. And in feel, I can tell very little difference as well. The depth is very similar. The P227, this one right here, wears an E2 style of grip, which I've learned to love. I said that in a recent review. I love the E2 grip. And what they're trying to do is compensate for the longer 45 ACP cartridge versus a 9mm. So they put a short, not a short reset, but a short trigger on it, and the E2 grip. And I measure it, the depth, we're talking 2.2 inches. And I could be a little bit off on that, but that'll get you pretty close. The 226 with a standard trigger was 2.17, so we're talking identical. We'll talk about this trigger in ergonomics, by the way. Weight, balance, and feel, though, it's all 226, and that is all to the good. I love it. Width is identical on the 227. How about firepower? Firepower. 10 rounds, and it doesn't stick out the bottom of the butt of the gun. I like that. The 1911s that I shoot that are running 10-round magazines, I'm talking single stack variety, you know, it's sticking way out there. We just do that for range use, have for years here in the Nutnfancy project, just for our shooting drills. It's nice to have something that's flush. And 14-rounders are coming out for the 227. That's all to the good. I mean, I'm stoked about it. One interesting thing that I was wondering about, and I took out and kind of made a little project out of, is would a P250 45 ACP magazine fit the 227? And I am happy to report that yes, it does. And this is a P250 magazine modified by myself. Actually, I'm lying. That's a 227. Here it is. That one. They're easy to mix up because they're the same magazine. Look at the bodies. Stamped identically. Get this right. P227 on the right, P250 on the left. Made in Italy, perhaps by Mekgar. Great magazine, durable. All the stuff I said in the P250 review. The base plates are different though. So again, P227. The 250 actually has some flanges that extend up from this plastic base plate that have to be milled off. So here comes some video of me doing exactly that. I just slapped it on the grinder, took it right off. Easy, easy. And yes, it's reliable. I had no jams, it locked back, it was fine. From the limited shots that I took out of the P250 magazine, I didn't shoot it a lot, but it seems like it works fine. So that's cool. So if you have some P250 mags, you can get a hold of some, you can easily modify them. I did not, however, put this back in the P250 to make sure it caused no problems. Not yet. So firepower is outstanding for a 45 ACP. Only Glock would beat it in that same style of format. Usually that'll be the SF ring. Says me. I mean, that's just my opinion. I would say also, we're getting on to accuracy. It inherits all the amazing capabilities of the P226 as far as putting rounds on target. Don't believe me? Well, I don't know if my shooting's the best way to illustrate it, but I'm going to try. Here we go. P227 today. Standing. I don't know why, but lately I just shoot better standing. I mean, I took a chair during the shooting of the 227 and I was not impressed with what I did. I was like embarrassed almost. So I shoot standing. That's shooting this round right here, the Nyclad. I got them at Cabela's actually, and I like Nyclad rounds. I think they're actually a decent defensive round as well. 230 TMJs. Not bad. Moving along. P227, 10 yards. A variety of rounds on this paper. Standing as well, that's Nyclad. 200, same round, you just saw it. Nice group there. For 10 yards, I'm real happy with that. I was a little disappointed in this Starfire 230 grain hollow point. That's this round right here. That usually shoots very, very well. I think that round is very accurate. I think the gun is accurate. It was me. And one thing when we're talking about accuracy of the 227 that I could level the same criticism to 226 is there's just a lot of air between the rear sight blade and the front sight blade. Not blade, but the rear sight and the front sight blade. Some guys like that faster, I know, on presentation. I just waste more time trying to make that equidistance, it seems like, when I'm doing accuracy testing like this, trying to show what the gun's capable of. More Nyclad right there. This was at 25 yards. I forgot to label it. Yeah. Honestly, dudes, I mean, I just show you how it happens. This is about what I shoot at 25 yards, unless I'm really having a great day. If I'm having a great day, all my rounds will go in this circle right here. I never get them just in this circle. Not with me, my eyes, no. That was 25 yards. Here comes another 25 yard group. This is shooting Nyclad, and it could be the ammunition. I'm not sure how consistent that Nyclad is. The Starfires would probably be a little bit tighter. There you go. That was actually sitting on a, I believe, on a chair. That's the one I said I wasn't impressed with. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. Whatever. Crockett helped me shoot. That was fun. We had such a good time out in the desert. This was not at a shooting range. It's out in the desert. On into the night is when we shot the P227. This was Crockett at 10 yards. FMJ PMC. Not too shabby. Nice. Shooting left for him, and the gun for me shot a little bit left as well. I'd have to drift that right side to bring it in line. Last target. This is not shooting anywhere but the shoulder. I aimed at the shoulder. Nice group. That's just two rounds. 10 yards standing. I think all these are Starfires. That's 3 rounds aiming left shoulder. Headshots. Nice group there for 10 yards standing. I'll take it. Finally in the body. There you go. I'll say it's a 2 MOA, or a 2-inch shooter, I should say, at 25 yards, which is pretty standard with SIG. If you get some finer sights on it that have more precision, easily, I shouldn't say easily, you're always going to be working to make this happen from my experience, 1.5 inches. You hand load, get a load that it really likes, even better. It's outstanding. On to ergonomics. We talked about it inherits all the P226 stuff. It does. I love the E2 grip. I love the grip panels. I wouldn't change anything about them. They're not rubber. They don't grab on clothing. They lock in. The stippling on the P227 grips is ideal. Yes, it's used in other models of SIG. Love it. And gone in the 227 are the grip screws. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I'll tell you this. I never had a problem with the grip screws. I just put some blue Loctite on them, and there. They never loosened on me. A lot of people did though, and I think they complained to the level that Sig goes, there you go, I'll take, we'll take them off. So 227, no grip screws. Hope you like it. The downside is this is a proprietary grip for the 227. You're not going to be able to slap on your 226 grips on it. Also improved is the magazine release. Notice how it's a little bit larger. The beveling is different than the 226. Is it a big difference? Honestly, in shooting both of these guns, I couldn't even tell. I always thought the 226 magazine release was just fine by me. But if you look at it and study it, it's better, I guess. And on this side, gone is the plate on this side as well. Talking that used to be right here. You can see it on the 226. Great magazine release. And check this out. This is an improvement I really like on the 227. It seems like it's more undercut under the trigger guard. See this versus the 226 right here? So you can get a higher grip on it, higher hold. All to the good. And then look at the front strap checkering on the 227. So it's not just front striations like various models of the 226 show. It's checkered. Great traction. Great traction. However, not so great is the trigger that comes on your 227. Again, installed trying to reduce the grip, the pull for most shooters, not all. And I will fall into the category of people that do not like the short trigger. The short reach trigger, this right here. I've talked about this in my other Sig reviews. I've always railed on it. But some guys will like it. Let me tell you something you may not have heard about it. A reason why you two will probably hate it from here on out. Okay, so when you have a trigger that doesn't have as much material on the face right here, the short reach trigger, when you pull it back, your finger fat or your gloves, if you're wearing gloves, will actually flow behind the trigger face and can actually get caught behind the trigger as you pull. And if it's not caught, it can interfere and kind of just make the release point very indistinguishable. That's what I really don't like about it. It's hard to tell when the shot's going to break with a 227. And that could actually kind of account for the accuracy of my shooting, my mileage, because I'm used to this trigger. This is a standard trigger. Notice there's more material here on the trigger face with this 226. Okay, so when you pull the trigger, notice as it goes all the way to the rear, since there's more material, we don't have any interference from our flesh or clothing, or I should say glovage back there. That aside, I don't like to pull on it either. I just think it's too short of a pull. My hands are a large variety, and so what's going to happen is I'm going to install this sucker ASAP. This is a part number from Brownells, and this is a normal Sig trigger, and it is kind of a pain in the butt to install. I've put about three of them in over the years. Here's a picture of me doing it to some Sig. I forget which one it was. Once that's done, the trigger will be a lot better. I'm not overly impressed, keeping it real, on the 227's pull. For instance, single action, I think is pulling around 6 pounds. Even though in their specifications it says it pulls at 4.4 and then 10 pounds for the double. I'm not so sure of that. And if you don't believe me, I actually remember to bring my trigger pull scale. Here we go. Analog variety. Let's see. So we're in single action cocked mode. Here we go. P227. Let's see what this sucker breaks at. Told you. About just over 6 pounds on that pull. That's another modification I'm going to make. If we decide to keep this 227, I'll tell you what, it's going to get a better trigger on it. That's not saying that it's not shootable. I mean, it's very shootable. You don't shoot it and go, oh man, this trigger sucks. It's not distracting. It's just that I'm used to this trigger. This one breaks at 4.5 pounds. The double's smooth. It's broken in. I want the 227 to be at that stage as well. Talking about ergonomics still. The sights, I kind of dinged a little bit for the air. That's normal. I wouldn't change them out though. They're tritium. They come with, I think, most models of the 227. That's extra value, says me. Ergonomically speaking, it's all Sig as far as a standard, I should start out here, standard double action to single action transition. In other words, you fire the shot, hammer ends up back here, and then if you decide the fight's over, you just drop your hammer with a dedicated hammer drop. Love it. Positioned perfectly. So is the slide release. I'll be honest with you, though, when I haven't shot Sigs for a while, it takes me a while to remember the controls. Because I'm going to XDM, to Glock, to Walther, to 1911s. It's a lot to keep track of. So if you see that in the video, you'll know why. It's like, oh man, I forgot about that. Sight radius, outstanding though. Just like the 226, it is, I think, 6.3 inches. Full-size combat GTW handgun. Love it. What about ergonomics? Takedown lever's about the same. Minor changes on that, I think, versus a 226. Accessory rail, right there. I would get the railed version, absolutely. And you will find that any accessory, I shouldn't say accessory, but holster that fits your 226R will fit your 227. Because again, dimensionally, they're just identical. Not going to go over field strip. We've done that so many times on camera. It's so simple. It sets standards for simplicity. The P226 and now the 227 field strip. All the P series are just so simple to strip, the full-size ones. Accessories and versatility. I think here in mid-2013 when I'm doing this review, there are no caliber exchange kits for this. So even though a P220 slide, my understanding, will fit on this, the 22 conversion kits are not out yet. My prediction is this gun will sell very well for Sig, and you will see caliber exchanges coming out for the 227 into whatever calibers they decide to do. I think most guys would probably like a 22 long rifle option. That'd be cool. They will probably come out with more versions as well. This again is a P227 Nitron full size. They have a carry version, which is like a P229 size. That has a 3.9 inch barrel. It's 31 ounces, a little bit lighter. And they also have a P227 SAS Gen 2. Some guys might ask, hey, do you wish that gun had the short reset trigger? My answer is no. I don't. I think the 226, and I keep saying that, the 227 trigger is just fine. Once it smooths out and gets to that pull weight I desire, I don't have any problems with it at all. It works great. So I don't need a short reset. I'm not that good, to be honest with you. I'm not. I mean, if you're a competitor and you're putting thousands and thousands around downrange every year, you could probably tell a difference and need it. But I don't know. I think a little bit too much is made of that. Ergonomically, I forgot to tell you, just like always, the cocking serrations are perfect on that. How about value? Wrapping it up already. Awesome. It's an expensive gun. I mean, I opened showing you the gunny's price on this. That's a store in Utah. I love that store. It was selling it for $920. Yeah, can you get it for less? Probably. Look around, but I doubt you're going to find it for anything less than $850. Seriously doubt it. Especially when this thing starts selling well, which it will soon, is my prediction. I think this video might help. It's going to be a great seller for Sig. It's expensive. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't set the prices at Sig. That's the entrance fee. It's always been that way. The good news is if you decide you don't like your 227, sell it. It'll go on down the road and you will lose very little money. Make, I don't know, sell it for the same price you bought it for, depending on how much you take care of it. Is it worth it? I say absolutely. This is a go-to-war pistol. Totally is. I don't have a crystal ball for reliability. I got to tell you that. I mean, are there going to be some P220-like issues that crop up later with the 227? I don't know. But from our shooting hundreds and hundreds of rounds, it seems awesome. No breakages, no failures, nothing. Sig reliability out of the box. They got this one right. They got it right. You know, occasionally I will ding other pistol manufacturers for a very high price near that of the 227s. For instance, H&K P30. But I will tell you this, that's a polymer frame pistol. And polymer frame pistols should be more affordable. This is a 7075, you know, aluminum frame, forged aluminum frame pistol. More expensive to produce. So, durability, reliability, I think it's going to be all aces. Yes, even with that MIM'd external extractor. I mean, we talked about that in my last 226 video. Some guys made a big deal about it. I did like the old version of the 226 extractor, but this seems like it's wearing well. And there's thousands and thousands of guys who have shot the 226 with this extractor that will also testify it's good. So it's what we're stuck with, and it seems to be working. I'll leave it at that. Sig recommends that every 5,000 rounds you're going to exchange, I think you change your extractor out and your recoil spring. If you're a high volume user, maybe every 3,000 rounds. I don't know. Forgot to show you this. Metal recoil guide rod. I wouldn't change anything about this pistol other than maybe doing a trigger job on it. Nothing. I wouldn't. Hey, would you replace a recoil spring, you know, different guide rod? No, I wouldn't. They just run so good the way they are. You might consider finer sights if you want maximum accuracy. If you're going to use it in a recreational, maybe a competition philosophy of use, which I forgot to mention, maybe you do that. I wouldn't change the grips out. Wouldn't do that. Oh, I guess I would change that. Okay, not everything. Track record seems amazing. It is worth the money. And I'm going to end the video by showing you the donation shell casing that's going to go out the door, because I wrote a little blurb on this that pretty much says it all. These have been popular over the years at the website at the top there. Guys that have been donating to TNP to help offset ammo costs. Give away money to the nice people we meet on the road. There it is, the 227 shell casing. First one ever made, polished by me, drilled by me, and then I end with this. I got Crockett on this one, man. That's a cool picture I took of him, so I used it. Hard-hitting 45 ACP power finds its way to the combat-proven Sig 226. Reliable, accurate, soft shooting, and fun. The 227 brings serious defensive power to your systems. Highly recommended. That's a Nutnfancy review. See ya.
Beautiful. 20 for 20. That run. Nice.
Finally got it together. Sig P227. What can I say? Sig did it right. So 45 caliber Sig P226 E2 Warrior pistol. Love it. 10 out of 10. Buy one today. You can afford it. It's expensive.
You should pick yours up too.
I guess I'm giving this one a Crockett.